Spoiler alert. This video contains spoilers for last week's episode of The Walking Dead. If you do not wish to have the episode spoiled for you, turn back now. What's up, trolls? Sturto here with Abstract Gaming, bringing you a different kind of video today. This one is not gaming related, but it is media related, and I kind of wanted to talk about the newest episode of The Walking Dead. Everybody knows this was the season premiere for The Walking Dead. Not season premiere, mid-season premiere. And the mid-season finale left us with such a cliffhanger that Carl got bit. And in a place to where there's no way they can cure it, in the stomach. And guys, everybody knows it's really sad. I hated Carl at the beginning of the show because he got my buddy Dale killed. You know, yeah, everybody says he's a little kid, whatever, he's a little kid, but he got Dale killed. Shouldn't have got that zombie out of that mud. But the episode's called Honor. It's season 8 episode 9. And guys, I'm honestly let down by it. You know, you would think that, this is going to be such an emotional episode. Carl's dying. He's been here since episode 1. Even though it was in flashback, he was still here since episode 1. Only other one's done that is Rick. Yeah, Daryl's there, but he's been there since episode 3. So you would think this would be sad. But it was just, it didn't turn out that way. At the beginning of the episode, there's a bit of like they have music play and they're showing some of the stuff that occurred up to that point. Him getting ready to die, him getting bit, coming to terms with it, writing letters to say goodbye to all of his friends. But the episode just like if Rick was come back to town and Carl was dead, that'd been sad. That'd been real sad. The end of the mid-season finale was sad. But this one just dragged on too long. It started out sad, yep. And of course they had some more stuff going on, like with King Ezekiel and all them, which is fine, which made it a decent episode on its own. But then throwing Carl in here and supposedly setting up some kind of peace treaty that they're going to try to have between Rick and possibly Negan, and at least Rick trying to come back to peace, because he's been losing his mind since like season 3 or whatever. But they should have just killed Carl off like early, just go for the kill. But instead, they would throw parts of him talking. Then they would go to King Ezekiel. Then they'd come back, he was talking. Then they'd go to King Ezekiel. Then come back and he's still talking. And it just drugged out to where I just wanted him to die. And like I said, yes, I've not liked him for the whole series, but I have come to like him recently, which is what they do. I mean, like, they make you think they're going to have like a redemption thing, then they die. I mean, look at that guy with Glenn on top of that dumpster. I thought he was going to have a redemption thing because Glenn gave him a second chance and he blows his brains out. Unrelated topic, though. And then, well, of course, this guy with King Ezekiel, he kind of seemed like, maybe this guy will become friends with him, and then he dies. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to go back and put a spoiler on the front of this, but if you're watching the video now, it's already there. And it was a decent episode. A lot of stuff happened. You see Carl team up with, Morgan, to try to get King Ezekiel back because he got captured in the mid-season finale. So they're fighting a bunch of people. And you're seeing this extent that Morgan's going back to where he's degressing mentally. And he's just killing people that doesn't need to die. And this is supposed to be them trying to, the episode before they start trying to work toward peace. And Carl talks about, he's having, this is what he pictures the future. He sees Rick older with his daughter, whose name isn't, it's so irrelevant I can't remember right now. Judith, slightly older. Rick's over here. I mean, the age of this little girl is just unrealistic at this point. She's got some kind of fountain of youth. She's maybe like a year older, but Rick has aged 20 years. Got a big old beard, gray. He's the only one that aged. Negan aged a little bit. Michonne didn't age. Jury didn't age, which Jury's become one of my favorite characters. I mean, he's hilarious. calling everybody dude. You can tell he's some kind of Hawaiian descent. It's just hilarious. I'd like to see more of him. At this point, he's kind of the comedic. If you think about it, Glenn used to be comedic, then he kind of got more serious, and then there's not really much comedy among the show. So Jerry's nice, but Nathan's got some comedy to him. But you see this flash forward of them, and they're working in this garden. They're getting supplies, and Judith, like I said, is a little bit older. She's hanging out with Jerry, and she goes on ahead of Rick to this man bent over and picking up these crops, and it turns out to be Negan, which I guess is what they're going to try to work forward toward. But so much stuff has happened, it just cannot work. If you actually think about it, it cannot work. I mean, I'm sure us viewers know that, but I just don't see how they could even, the people in the show could even think that it could work. I mean, he's killed Glenn. Maddie would have to die somehow. And then Rick would just have to get over so much stuff. And it's just unrealistic in a TV show. But, you see him start to be introduced to this new friend of Carl's, whose name has slipped my mind. Which, if you remember the old episodes, I'm not very good with names on TV shows. Much better in real life, but not TV show names. First of all, they're crazy anyway. And then you see they're trying their best not to lose King Ezekiel over at the Savior side, but Morgan and Carl seems to be too much for him because they do get him back. And the little blonde-headed boy gets a kill. He actually kills the Savior guy, the main one, who, like I said, I thought they were going to try to redeem because he seemed to be somewhat buddy-buddy with King Ezekiel, even though he's just trying to push, this is the smart idea. This is the idea you need to go for. But, you're just thinking irrational. They actually killed him off, and then, we saw more Carl talking. They're talking over, when they get him to the hilltop, they have medicine. It's safe there, and this is not possible because all the Saviors sitting there destroying their town. And, they told we got to stay back, wait a little bit longer, and then, when it's safe, we can go. So they decided to do that. And Carl's just slowly, getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and you can tell he's going to die soon. But like I said, they just drug it out too long, way too long. Like it just got boring. I just go ahead, kill him off, finish him off. One thing I'm surprised they didn't do, like Daryl didn't really seem that sad about it. I know kind of he's been like withdrawn, but now he actually seems like he didn't care one bit that his best friend Rick, his kid has died. This kid that he's known, I think it's been like 10 years. How long is this? It's gone quite a few years, like 7 or 8 years. So he's actually come to know this kid, and you can see the character development. And didn't care one bit. He's dying. I'll take Judith. I'll make sure she stays safe while we go to Hilltop. That way you can stay with your son, and then he can die. And then it cuts to, everybody leaves, and it's still Rick, Michonne, and Carl. And they know what's going to happen, so they start packing him toward, to a house. But he gets too sick to walk, so he has to get laid down. And he starts talking about some of the stuff he did in the prison, where he shot that little boy who was lowering his gun, because he was a little douchebag in season 3? He was a douchebag then. But he, like I said, he's gotten better, especially since Rick almost died from that fight with the governor. He's gotten a lot better. And I'm actually really sad that he died, though. I'm sad that Carl died, because they had a nice little thing going on. They couldn't catch a break. And I went back and I watched the episode where Rick finally gets up to the camp in the first season. And after watching this most recent episode, season 8, and going back and watching that, it was really sad. The first encounter they have is really emotional. And you can imagine, you wake up in a coma and you've seen your kid and wife in a while. And then now he dies. But because they dragged it out so long, it just dampened the moment for me. And so he decides Carl's going to kill himself because, he don't want to put that kind of burden on everybody. And he tells them that they need to work toward peace. So, guys, from now on, we might see them trying to work toward peace, but I can't see it living long, if living at all, if even happening. But if that's what the trailer said they were going to try to work toward, some crazy stuff's going to have to happen. I mean, think about Negan. Negan sure ain't going to turn into what we see in the flash forward, or the dream. It ain't really a flash forward. It more likely ain't going to come true. But guys, that's me off this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Comment down below with us. Hit that hashtag Walking Dead if YouTube still does hashtags. Comment down below, chat with us. Give us your opinion. What you think on the episode. And guys, like always, God bless. And don't forget to love.